me wrap this with these. At the bottom two bullet points are summary statements. The historical context of salvation in both Hebrew and Judean culture centered on deliverance from oppression or evil. Judean theology considered salvation in terms of deliverance from foreign occupation, renewal of Israel as an autonomous or independent state, and the restoral of the Davidic throne by the Messiah. So that just summarizes what Jewish salvation or one day I'm going to tell you all the difference between being Jewish, being Judean, and being Hebrew, but I don't have time for that now. Judean salvation involved freedom from occupation, renewal of Israel, and restoration of the Davidic throne. Whereas Judean theology believed this salvation to be ethnically and legally exclusive, the early church preached an inclusive salvation based on faith as evidence of actions. Last 3 points. Beliefs are inevitably manifested through action, but actions don't always demonstrate beliefs. So in other words, we're saying that your salvation is a product of your faith, and we see that faith manifested in your action. People can act a specific way even though they don't necessarily believe something. People do that all the time. People do stuff that they're told. But your beliefs, what you really believe, at some point in time is going to show up in the way you act. So beliefs are inevitably manifested by actions, but actions don't always manifest beliefs. So we're saying faith, and how do we know, and what do we see, and when I see myself doing differently, or trying to do differently, it means that there's been a change in my belief system because my beliefs should show my actions. Not because it's what somebody told me to do, but it's because there's been a transformation in beliefs, and I'm trying to figure out how to work that thing out in my life.
Just that one action.
It's the second third from the bottom bullet point. Beliefs are inevitably manifested through action, but actions do not always demonstrate beliefs. And as far as being saved and what it means to be saved, the act of becoming a disciple or committing to learning was evidence of faith sufficient for salvation or inclusion in the kingdom. So, being saved, what does it mean to be saved? In that time, forget about what, at that time, being saved meant that you became a disciple. That you were going to commit your life to learning and learning how to incorporate these principles and ideas into your life. And anybody who made that commitment, because it was a commitment that had to come through faith. Now, at some point in time, maybe we'll have a conversation about the dynamics that faith played in being able to make that decision. But it came through faith. And your demonstration of faith was a willingness to become a disciple. That I'm going to take the time to learn. I'm going to commit myself to learning and operating under the instruction of somebody who has learned. And so that's what being saved is in the Bible. Which in some ways is almost easier than the stuff that we put out now and the way that we look at stuff now. At least to me, if you tell me that, to me, and I'll speak for myself, but if you say that being saved means do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that, fix this, don't fix that, and that's one thing. If you say that being saved is having faith enough to try to learn and implement what I'm learning into my life from Scripture, that seems to me to be a little bit simpler. And that's just me speaking. But it's a difference. And I thought that to begin the new year, it was a very good lesson to start with, to understand what exactly is all of this salvation talk and save talk and everything, and what does Scripture and what did the culture of the Scripture actually say about it compared to the way we look at it and treat it now. So I hope that was interesting to